Hello, welcome to Little Learners. In today's video I just wanted to tell you about a film I recently went to see. Actually, it was very recent, it was today, just hours before filming this. As you can probably tell from the title, I just went to see the Lego Movie 2. And there were a few things about it that I really wanted to share with you if you are thinking about going to see it with your children or you're just wondering how the sequel fared compared to the first film. I'm going to put a bit of a spoiler warning here. I'm not going to be giving away the main plot or anything, but I am going to be discussing the sort of themes surrounding this storyline for this film, so that may be considered a spoiler depending on how invested you personally are in the Lego Movie franchise, so just a little warning there. So I am a big fan of the first Lego Movie, mainly just because I find it very entertaining. There's something quite nostalgic, I suppose, for adults watching the Lego Movie. I mean, really, it's an excellent marketing opportunity for the Lego company. But that aside, I do think that this is a really great franchise. It's really fun, and it has a lot of jokes that can appeal to adults as well as children, or that might slightly go over children's heads. They're not inappropriate jokes, but it's nice just to see that there for the adults in the audience. So the first film, if you haven't seen it, is based in the world of Lego, and we eventually find out that a little boy is controlling this world of Lego, and his dad doesn't usually let him play with the Lego because he sees the Lego as kind of like a model activity rather than a play activity. And in the end, they come to a compromise and the dad realises that it would be really nice to play with his son. At the end of that film, the dad says, if I'm going to let you play with my Lego, we're going to have to let your sister play with it too. And the film ends there. So this film is directly after that, so straight after it follows on. And so the theme surrounding this film is a lot about sharing and kind of coming together. So we have the world of Lego, and to begin with we have the world of Duplo because the sister's very young, and then throughout the film we get some more kind of sophisticated, I suppose, Lego because the two children grow up a bit. And through the story of the sister's Lego and the brother's Lego, you see kind of the inner turmoil that they're facing. The brother especially feels like he needs to grow up and he can't be childish anymore, and that's why he doesn't want to play with his sister, and he needs to be a bit more of a grown-up, but he's obviously struggling with that because he is still a child and he does enjoy playing with this Lego, and he feels like he has to completely change his play style just because his sister now plays with Lego in the same way that he has always played with Lego. So there is kind of a twist at the end of this film, and I really don't want to give too much away, but it is a lot to do with how the younger sister really wants to play with her older brother, and she has been trying for many years to play with him and to kind of bring her Lego world into his Lego world and the other way around as well, and he's kind of just always pushed her away because he's going through the kind of early teenage phase of wanting to be a lot more grown up than he is and not wanting to play with his sister. And actually I found that really emotional because if you have grown up in a family with more than one child in the house, or if you have more than one child living in your house, you will probably know that siblings don't always get on, and if there is a bit of an age gap, that often exacerbates things. So it can be there's a 2-year age gap and that is enough. Sometimes children get on better if there's a really big age gap between them. It just depends. So what I really liked about this film was that it really showed the kind of tension that it can leave in a household when you've got two siblings who aren't really getting on or clashing in some way. And it also shows the way that if you do come together and if you share, so in this case obviously it's Lego, if they share their Lego and come together, they'll have an even better experience, a much more enriching experience. If he takes his ideas and his Lego that he has, and she takes her very different ideas and Lego playstyle that she has, and they bring them together, they can make a really fantastic and imaginative world together. For a lot of children, thinking about playing with their younger sibling or being told all the time that they have to play with their sibling or another child, it causes a lot of frustration because they don't know how it's going to turn out. And usually when you tell a child that they need to share, their concept of sharing is that they have to give away something that they have, which is often part of sharing, that you have to give up something that you have. And this film kind of showed that sharing is to do with turn taking, which is something that I think is really important, because that is a message that we always want to get across to our children, that sharing isn't just about giving up, it's about turn taking and being collaborative. So as well as the big theme and kind of the emotional side of this film, that by the way is very subtle, and actually the twist that happens at the end, I didn't see it coming. So I think it's done really, really well, and it does show how things can work out for the best later on. So aside from all of that, this is a very entertaining film. Obviously, the first one was such a big hit, and the second one has done a great job. It is an excellent sequel, and I think it's often hard to make good sequels because there is a lot riding on a film from its predecessor, and often you end up disappointing your audience because it's never going to be the first film. So I think it's quite a commendable achievement to have made such a brilliant sequel. So really, I just kind of wanted to tell you about it and encourage you to take your children to see it, or when it comes out on DVD, maybe you can rent it. This is not sponsored in any way. I genuinely think that this is a great film for children to watch and to get these kind of subtle messages and things that they are probably dealing with all the time. A lot of you as parents will know that children are dealing with the kind of concept of where they stand with their siblings. Now, I think it is also very important to recognise that as well as teaching children to share and to collaborate with other children and their siblings, it is also important to recognise that children do need some alone time. So they do need time to develop their own ideas and to spend some time just by themselves. As much as you will want your child to play with their sibling, and absolutely we need to be able to teach children how to do that, it is also important to remember that they do need some space sometimes. So don't worry if they're not playing together 24/7. It's okay for them to have their own space. But if you are struggling with your children learning to play together and seeing the value in playing together, then I do think that this film is a step in the right direction and definitely one that might be able to help with that. So that was my opinion on the Lego Movie 2. Let me know in the comments below if you have seen it. What did you think of it? Are you going to see it? Do you agree with kind of my assessment of the theme of this? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.